What's up, fellow gamers? Nightwing here, bringing you my next review, which is The Death and Return of Superman by Blizzard and Sunsoft, to coincide with the Warner Bros. Animation release of Superman Doomsday, which came out September 18th of 2007. Now, the Death of Superman video game loosely follows the comic book arc where Superman dies, comes back as, I would say, 4 incarnations of himself, although they really aren't Superman. There is Cyborg Superman, there is my personal favorite, the Eradicator, there is Steel, this guy in this steel costume who liked Superman, and of course Superman's clone, Superboy, which is Connor. Anyway, the Death of Superman video game has Superman slugging it out with Doomsday on the streets of Metropolis. And just like the comic book, even though Superman fights Doomsday and defeats him, it comes at a cost, because Superman dies. That worked really well with the music, didn't it? The Death of Superman happened in 1993, and it was like this big media blitz, not just in the comic book world. I mean, it affected DC and everything, but even in the real world, people wore Superman armbands and stuff like that. As I said before, you get 4 other characters that you play as, and we'll get into that a little bit later. The controls for this game are just identical to every arcade brawler out there, from Final Fight to whatever. Your punch button, or your Y button, is your punch, your jump is B, and if you double jump then you can fly, and your X button is your super special attack. The bosses in this game, there isn't really that many. I would say mainly Cyborg. Another cool thing about this game is there's this flying side-scroll adventure thing, but it gets monotonous after a while. Bad aspect of this game would be that it's cool to explain the story, but how Blizzard and Sunsoft do it is they have the profile picture of the heroes and the text comes up very slowly, and sometimes the game malfunctions where you can't even cut the scene. Also, this game is probably one of the hardest arcade brawlers I've ever played. Frustrating hard, you want to throw the controller. Not to mention, every character in this game plays exactly as Superman at the beginning, with the exception to the sprites and character models being different. Also, the music in this game is probably the worst music I've ever heard. When I was doing this review, my wife suggested that I do Superman themes from TV shows and cartoons and stuff. So that's why you heard John Williams and Batman, Superman, Lois and Clark, and later the Superman animated series theme, because it made this review actually look good. Sadly, this game is mediocre at best. And also, the side-scrolling shoot-'em-up levels were cool the first time you did it, but the fact that just about every character has one is just really dumb. What I'm showing you here is I just beat that Superboy level, and this is the profile story that you get stuck going through. See what I mean? It's just really monotonous and really, really dumb. Good aspect of this game. Well, the only good thing about this game is when Superman actually comes back, and it stays true to the comics, when Eradicator gets killed and gives Superman back his power. So I thought that was a pretty good example of that. Also, all the crap that you had to go through to play as the other Supermen that played exactly like Superman in the first couple levels, you got to play as the Big Blue Boy Scout again, which I know a lot of Superman fans are going to be upset I even called him that, but I am a Batman fan, not Supes. I just did this review to try to get everything, to go with Warner Brothers and stuff, maybe get some more hits or whatever. But it was kind of cool to be Supes and kill Cyborg after Cyborg tried to annihilate the world. But this Superman game, as good as it is, only gets a 5 out of 10. What I found funny after beating this game, too, is Superman talks about he feels better than ever and that he can handle anything that comes, right? Well, what about Justice League Task Force Superman? I hate to say it, but I just feel sorry for him, because, I mean, if he's that easily beaten, that's just sad. Anyway, gamers, it's been a pleasure. Look for my next review, which will be Star Wars Rogue Squadron Rogue Leader. As always, gamers, it's been a pleasure. God bless, and good night.